Good morning, everyone. I welcome you all to yet another session powered by Shubh Language Academy in partnership with the French House Jaipur. And today's topic, as you can see, it is from Haina to Isn't It? Overcoming the Hindi hangover while speaking English. So, in today's session, I'm going to speak Hindi as well because that's what the main purpose is. I'll start with a little introduction wherein I'm going to use some sentences. Now, we should speak proper English, Haina, but still we make small mistakes and say wrong things only. It happens because of Hindi thinking. Sometimes we speak like that because we thought it's okay. So improving English is important. Matlab, we must focus on correct usage and avoid such habits. है ना? If I were to say the same content that I've just said, we should speak proper English, shouldn't we? But we still make minor mistakes and use incorrect expressions. It happens due to Hindi interference. Sometimes we speak like this, thinking it's acceptable. So, improving English is important. I mean, we must focus on correct usage and let go of such habits, isn't it? So, in this little example, you must have understood that the purpose of today's discussion is how we have to understand what are the Hindi words that we dash in, we use at times unknowingly. We don't even pay attention to their usage at times, and they are there in our English when we express ourselves in English, and how to get rid of them. We are not criticizing them. It is just the fact that we have to move towards a pure English, an English which is understood by native speakers as well. Now, the problem is when we speak through our Indian approach in terms of using our local language or Hindi as a base language, then the problem that is met by the foreign speakers or the native speakers of English is that they don't understand as well. Because for us, it is a normal thing and we can understand each other, those who understand those local languages and especially English. But when it comes to just pure native speakers, then comes the real problem. So this is going to be the talk for the day, and I really look forward to your participation as well, wherein I would want that every one of you say something and dash in your experience as well. So without further ado, let's get started. And I'm going to share my screen. It's already there. So now, first and foremost, I would like to talk to you about something that's called interferences. Right. So what all interferences can we see, especially with fillers? Now, when we talk about fillers, these are the words or the sounds that we use in a speech to pause, to think, or maintain a flow. Now, this is very important. It gives you a clarity. It also helps the other person to understand in a better way. और साथ ही साथ हमारा जो मीनिंग है वो बहुत ही क्लीन वे में, क्लियर वे में सामने आता है. इंग्लिश में हम जनरली देखते हैं what kind of fillers we have. We have got fillers like like, well. These are the words that we use, which is totally acceptable in English. Now, what happens is in Hindi also we have a lot of fillers. To, है ना, मतलब, नहीं क्या, अरे. So these kind of fillers, when we transfer these fillers in English unknowingly, we are again going back to the fact unknowingly, then we use them in a way that they help us to pause, to think, or to maintain our flow. But does that really justify the fact of conveying the meaningful content? That's the bigger question. Now let's see how does it happen and what are the ways in which it gets exhibited. So when Hindi speakers switch to English, they often carry over Hindi conversational fillers out of habit or comfort. It can be a comfortable thing for them. It could be a habit. And this generally happens unknowingly because they are transferring from Hindi to English. Now, the words like, huh, है ना, मतलब, कि, तो, ना, नहीं क्या. For example, we use huh, a questioning or confirming sound. You're going there, huh? Or when you want to convey the fact that I mean, or this is to say, matlab you didn't understand. Matlab tumhe samajh mein nahi aaya. Matlab you didn't understand. So we would put across this word matlab. There's also this word ki that is introduced as a clause. For example, I told you कि he's not coming. मैंने तुम्हें बताया तो था कि वो नहीं आ रहा है. I told you कि he's not coming. So this ki, which acts as a relative clause, which joins two parts of the sentences, it comes quite handy for people to understand. I told you कि he's not coming, which in Hindi, I'm sure your Hindi brain says, मैंने तुम्हें बताया तो था कि वो नहीं आ रहा है. Then another word is to. It's a logical connector, like so. It has a complete replacement of the English word so, which in Hindi is to. So what do you want now? Instead of saying so, what do you want now? we would rather go for the Hindi word to. Another word is na. It's like a tag question, isn't it? Nahi kya? You will help me na? You're coming to the party now, right? So this is a tag question that comes along, and it is generally seen as na. If you have anything to say, please feel free to put in your points, even in between. That's perfectly fine, right? It is a discussion. We are trying to see if you have anything related to it, or you have a question at this point of time, or even if you want to dash in your own experience, please feel free to do that. So I can see Srijita. Srijita, you would like to say something?
Yes, sir. Actually, I
Yeah.
wanted to say that these sometimes the fillers can also create a lot of confusion. For example, if we are saying or ye bhi hai or and something like that, when we say or like that, then sometimes it happens that English speakers might think that we want to say or,
Or in
but then
English.
not only.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. I feel so.
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Yeah, you're right, Srijita. So because this word or in Hindi has a different meaning, which is and and or in English has an option athwa. So this confuses the English speaker. They might think that this person has used a word of English, but why has this person used an English word or over here? But our intention was with a Hindi word, which is or. So that's true, Srijita, that we have to be very mindful. I think mindful is the right word. Mindful of the words that we are using. The whole journey of moving from our local language, or even for that matter from Hindi to English, is going to be such. It's going to be filled with these words. That's absolutely okay. The only point we have to understand is that we have to be mindful while using these words, and we have to see as to who the other person is. Is the other person in Indian person, or a person who understands the local language as well? So this person might understand what we want to say. But what if the person is at an international level, a person who doesn't understand our local language or Hindi for that matter? Then how does he or she comprehend this concept? So for that, our mindfulness, the presence of mind should be very much in place, so that we understand what are the filler words that we use in Hindi, and they have to be replaced with filler words in English. Shamba, you'd like to say something?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah,
Uh, to be honest, this is something we always use fillers in each and every languages we speak. So this is something needed also. Like while you're thinking, then you speak, then you start speaking. So I kind of think like everyone does this. Before speaking in a language, they pause for a moment. Either they use some filler words or they just stop, or this is you some of the sounds we use. So for me, I think like this Hannah or isn't it? Even like we have something in French. Right now, I do not remember that. Like in Bengali, we say taina, मतलब ना 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 ऐसा कुछ बोलते रहते हैं हम लोग. So this is something to manipulate also the other person. Like you have to give in to this, isn't it? So I feel like other than this isn't it word, there are many words which have which do make some confusions. Even if
true.
it is in our own languages we speak, there are differences. Like एक हैना का बोलने का मतलब हर एक में है ना, but means then you change the voice and you say something in that same thing, same word you're using it, the meaning totally changes.
True,
Like
absolutely.
और और क्या मतलब
Hmm.
मतलब मतलब और मतलब. So
Right.
that's it become what the way the tone is used, that is the main
True.
thing I can see.
Yes.
And you know better than us. You are
No, no,
a
we all are
local.
learning. That's not that I know more or better than you. It's just that we are trying to see as to what all we see as problems. And when you say Shampa, this, that's absolutely right, that these filler words, they exist in all the languages. It is just the idea that when we are moving on to a new language or an international language, a language that we have to use with people who don't have this cultural baggage with them, the Indian cultural, content or the potential, they don't know about our local culture either. So what if I am talking to this person, I unknowingly use some Hindi filler words, and this person, now the way Shrujita said that I've used or some other word which denotes something else in English, or the other person doesn't understand at all. So this confusion has to be minimized. And this is true what you're saying, Shampa. So what we have to do is that we have to replace our filler words with that language's filler words. This is the intention. So that we all are, see, filler words is something that we cannot do away with. We can never ever ignore filler words. We can never ever remove them from our language. They have to be there. They are so supportive because they give us space. They give us flow. They give us
Yeah.
some sort of understanding of what we are trying to say, and
Yeah.
that's the natural approach towards the language. But at the same time, it is important that we transfer those filler words from our language to the foreign language.
Even like I have seen while I, that I've been an IELTS trainer,
Yes.
and also like I do some soft skills trainings also. So I have seen many English speaking, like they speak English very well. It's not like that, but in between they just use na
Mhm.
or no, means na is always there.
Right.
So this is something which I feel like when I listen to them, I think, why are they doing this mistake?
Mhm.
While
True.
speaking, you are not supposed to mix the language. If you want to speak a language, you get into that language and you speak the whole thing.
True.
Do not mix a language. That
Right.
I think that I feel like initially
Yes.
it's okay,
Mhm.
but later on when you learn it, so please you'll
Yes.
have to remove all these fillers, words, and all. So
Yes.
coming to that thing, so that the other person does not get confused.
True, true. No, you're absolutely right, Shampa, when you say this, that even people who have a strong hold in English, we see that their Hindi influence is manifested in terms of filler words. Because, see, words are indeed a great help. When we are thinking about the next point that we are going to talk about, Shampa, in our any discussion, these filler words come a great help. They like, matlab, henna, key, which is totally understandable. We understand it in a local context, in a national context, we can still get through with these kind of filler words. But what if we are addressing an international audience and we
Mm.
try to speak these filler words? Then that confuses not only the audience, but also it creates an ambience of our knowledge which is not in the right direction. That gives an image. So the purpose of this whole talk today is that filler words should be there. We are not going to do away with them. We are not going to remove them. We are going to transfer them from our mother tongue to the language that we are talking
Yeah.
into, so
It's,
that
it's
they
like over
stand.
here it's English. And the
Absolutely, they stand
English,
there.
we can have all these filler words.
Totally, we have all the filler words in English as well, but of course, the feeling is different. That's understood. But the kind of public that you are addressing yourself to, you are talking to, you have to understand that that audience doesn't understand the Hindi filler words. They don't understand the Hindi emotions connected to those Hindi filler words. So we have to transfer everything. Similarly, kind of verbs we use, the kind of double emphasis words that we use, we're going to talk about that as well. So this whole Indian, or I would not name it as Indian, I would say the local approach of moving ahead with the language has to be done in a very mindful way. So this word mindful is going to be very important. The way
Yeah.
when we talk in English, we try to ensure that we are not translating English from Hindi or from our local language. If we do those translations, then it doesn't work that way. Similarly, the translation or the direct use of filler words should not be done either. And even when we are translating these filler words in English, we have to be mindful of the fact that do they make same sense? Do they carry the same emotion? If yes, only then we should take them. And the way you pointed out, Shamba, that we have to be alert, we have to be aware of the fact that how others are addressing, when they talk in English, what kind of filler words are they using? If they're saying matlab, henna, ki, na, to, which means that still this influence is hangover. This Hindi hangover is there in their English expression, which is okay. I hope the idea is clear. We're not being critical about it. It's just that we want to enhance our English speaking skills to address audience at an international level, at a level wherein they understand English filler words rather than Hindi filler words, right?
What I have
Yes.
noticed, like throughout the years, when we were taught English, we had all Anglo-Indian
Right.
people who to teach us.
Mhm.
So I found those teachers, they have never spoken in, like, while speaking, they have never used all these filler words, like Hindi filler words.
Hindi filler words,
So
right.
I kind of, to be honest, I was blessed with them.
Right.
But
Mhm.
nowadays, when I see the students, I see a lot of people, they are using this to and na in
You're
between
right. You're right.
always.
Yes.
So
Yes,
this
you're
is
right.
something I think they should change into
They
from
should
there
change it. They
to,
should be aware of it because
yeah,
among
mindful.
themselves, Shampa, it works very well. When I'm talking to you, I could say, you see, Shampa, these days there's a lot of problem, है ना? And what I'm trying to say is, key there is a lot of corruption going in the system. So when I say key or Henna, you understand it, that's okay. What if there were foreign people in our meeting, and if they were listening to me, what would they understand? What would they take as a learning? They might think that there was some word he was saying, matlab and ki. I don't know what does that mean, because these words are really important, because they are like stressing on what I'm trying to say. They're trying to.
They might feel, they might feel ignorant, like they might feel that, oh, we are left out.
We
We
are
do
left
not
out.
know.
Yes, absolutely. They might feel they're left out. There's something that they didn't. And of course, at international level, when we are conversing with people, we really want that people shouldn't end up being confused. They shouldn't end up telling themselves, oh, there was some part of the speech or the discussion that I couldn't
Suppose
understand.
three Indians are there, and one is a foreigner, and that person will feel left out, obviously.
It does happen, because
So the
so that's why.
communication is somewhere, that breaks.
Absolutely. So this is something that we have to be mindful about. So I think that's a good point. Thank you, Shampa. I think Shrijita wants to say something. Yeah, Shrijita.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, I just wanted to add on to what Shompa
Yes.
said very beautifully, that you feel like a foreign person would feel left out in a situation like that.
Yes.
But to add on to that, I would like to say that in a situation where, in an international arena where some translation or interpretation work is going on, and a
Yes.
person is speaking in Shuddh Hindi, for example,
Yes.
or Shuddh regional language,
Right.
then the person who is translating or interpreting needs to be aware, fully aware of the pillars of that particular language also, sir.
Yes,
Is
absolutely. You're totally right, Srijita. So it's not a very simple thing. One has to master it, and one has to be, totally into it to understand, and should have lived in both the cultures at depth, I would say. If not at depth, should know how it happens in the foreign language. Only then would we be able to transfer the sense. And such a large gathering who has come to, listen to someone who's very eminent. This person, if he or she is saying something in Hindi, and the interpreter doesn't really translate everything, even the filler words, then there comes a problem, because they tend to convey some meaning. They tend to convey some kind of stress we are trying to put on what we are trying to say, because these filler words are great help. We are not underestimating their existence. It's just that we are trying to transfer them from our local language to the international language. That's what the whole purpose is. All right.
please.
Yeah, with that, we'll move ahead, because as you see, you have some of these filler words here. I've made a whole list of it. I'll just quickly help you understand this. I'm sure you already know it. So कुछ एक filler words जो हमारे पास है वो है. So it's that question. For example, you are done, huh? Huh? हो गया ना काम तुम्हारा, huh? So you are done, huh? This is one of the points that we generally add in the end, the way Shampa was saying. Then matlab, which means for a clarification. I mean, matlab, you don't get what I'm saying? Matlab, you're not understanding what I'm saying? So this matlab is for a clarification. We tend to use it a lot. I've seen as when we train our learners in English, we tend to see this when we ask them to speak on certain topics and they have to express themselves. We see these filler words being used a lot. Then key, to introduce a subordinate clause. I said key, it's not possible. I've already told you key, it's not possible. Key. We'll see as to how we replace them. Then though, it's again a logical connector. We have just spoken about it. It's like so and then. Though, why are you here? And then now or Henna, tag question seeking an agreement. The way Shampa said that, we have to convince the other person by putting a little Henna in the end. You got what I'm saying now? Nice movie, Henna. So this is something, we want to draw other person's interest as well. I want to check as to what he or she is feeling about this movie. Yani ki, that means it's his third attempt, it's his third try. Yani ki, he's serious about it. Yani ki. Are? That's like an expression of surprise or emotion. Are, what are you doing here? Now this are, it's such, what should I say? It's such non, we don't think about this word. It comes out so automatically, but we have to be mindful. If you're talking in a foreign language, then this array has to go to English, or if someone speaks other foreign languages, into those foreign languages, so that the other person who is a native of that language understands. Otherwise, this array can confuse this other person. Why did you say, what was that sound that you said in the initial part of it? When you said, what are you doing here? You said some array. What is that array? So we have to be mindful of that. Then among friends, people use quite this colloquial way of saying abe, which is an informal exclamation which is used with friends. Array or abe, listen to me. And then aise hi, just like that, randomly, without no particular reason. Why did you do that? Aise? Aise? Chalo, let's go. Okay then. Chalo, I'll call you later. Chalo. Chalo, I'll call you later. So this chalo is frequently used in Indianized English. Then bus, that's it, enough. Bus, I don't want to talk about it. Bus, right? Then acha. Oh, really? Is it? Acha. I didn't know that. Acha, you didn't know that. So this acha. Dekho, which is like drawing someone's attention towards you. Look, listen, Dekho, I'm trying to help you. If you don't want to take any help, it's okay. Dekho. Or sun. Or suno. Listen. Sun, I've got something to tell you. Sun, I've got something to tell you. So this sun is to draw other person's attention. And you could also have, so the list is endless, you know. I've just tried to pick up some of them. Another one is kya bolte ho? What do you say? Right? We can go to the beach. Kya bolte ho? So these Indianized filler words, they do make sense among people who understand these filler words. But what about international audience? Why are we using this word? Because the people who are totally ignorant of these words, they have no idea about it. And why would they know? Because they don't speak Hindi, they speak English. So for them, we have to make an effort and we have to transfer these Hindi filler words towards English filler words. Now, as we were talking about it, what kind of a problem it can generate? It can make your speech sound informal, confusing to non-Hindi speakers, and we don't even get to know कि मैंने जब ये बोला कि आप मेरी मदद करेंगे, you're going to help me, है ना? So this henna came so naturally to me, but the other person who was an English speaker, he was like, "What is this henna?" So that might confuse him. It also shows the single dependency on our native languages. That means I can only work when my Hindi brain works for me, which disrupts the flow at times. And it also reduces our credibility. When I say credibility in formal and professional settings, it means that when I'm talking to people at international level, a level which includes people from different varied backgrounds, and there should be a common language, there the credibility goes down for the fact that people would always question what I say, and they would feel that, no, we don't understand what you say at times. The crucial words are said by you in different ways, and we tend to lose our interest, we tend to lose our thought process, and it doesn't help us. So our credibility goes down. So it's very important that we use even the filler words in the right way. So some of the filler words that we can replace in English could be, for example, if we have to say hai, which goes like right, isn't it? For example, when we want to say matlab, we can say I mean to say, this is to say. When you have to introduce a clause, you generally say ki, but in English you could always say that. To is a logical connector. It very easily translates with so, then, or therefore. Na and henna, seeking an agreement or confirmation, it generally goes with right. Okay, isn't it? What do you say? Yani ki, that means, in other words, are, which is like a surprise or an emotional reaction. You could say, oh, wow, hey, something of the sort. Among friends, as I already mentioned about abe, oe, that's what we say among friends. You could always use another word as an attention grabber, which could be dude, hey man. And se, which can go for no particular reason, no specific reason, just like that. Chalo. Chalo, we'll talk tomorrow. Chalo, we'll talk tomorrow. So chalo is like, all right then, okay then. You're trying to wrap up what you're saying. Okay, and it's not let's go, right? So I hope you understand. So let's go, it's in the different sense when you want people to go along with you. So all right then, okay, that way. Bus, that's enough, that's it. That's how you would say, or you could also say, which means it's over from my side. When you have to say acha, which can be like a realization, oh, you realized something, or you understood something, or that was a surprise, you say, oh really, oh is it, oh that's interesting, oh I see. You use these kind of fillers. Dekho, when you want to draw someone's attention, you say, look, listen, you see. And when it is about drawing someone's attention again, when you say sun or suniye, suno, you would say, hey, listen, let me tell you one thing. And in the end, if you have to say kya bolte ho, so which generally talks about the fact that you would want to check other person's opinion about something. So it's like seeking opinion or seeking someone's suggestion. You would say, what do you say? How about, shall we? So these are the ways in which you can change your Hindi filler words towards English. And why do we use these kind of fluent alternatives? Now, they increase your clarity, they elevate your spoken English, of course, and they help you break the code switching tendency and they encourage thinking directly in English. Otherwise, we always lean on Hindi or our local language to speak in English. And this, when you go to that level of transferring Hindi filler words or our local language filler words to English filler words, believe me, our brain is so mindful. The way Shampa rightly says that when she listens people speak that way, Her brain says that something is not correct. There's something that's not fine. Okay, she understands that it's not key they should have said, it's not na they should have said. So what they should have said, whatever we are discussing in this class, and we as learners, we have to pick it up for ourselves, because people might make a lot of mistakes. If we are in the capacity to help them, to guide them, and it is appreciated by them, we can go ahead and do that. But if not for them, but at least for ourselves, we can do it. We can work on ourselves, and every time we use a Hindi filler word or a local language filler word, we try to replace it with an English filler word. I think that level, when we approach, when we acquire, believe me, your brain starts to think in English, because when you are expressing your emotions in English, that means you know how to control your language as well. Any questions on that, Shapa, Srijita? Yeah, Shamba would like to say something.
Yeah, no, I do not know why I see many people nowadays not only using filler words, they are also just introducing their mother tongues in between. Like while they start with English, then
Right,
they go into like one adding one Hindi line over there. Then
right,
again, they come back, they add another Hindi line over there. It's very
right.
confusing for the non-speakers of.
Non Hindi speakers. You're right. You're right. Absolutely, Shamba. I think a very valid point you are putting across. Now, what happens is that people don't realize that the audience that they are talking to can be totally non-Hindi speakers audience, and for them it is important. Or at times, Shamba, it is possible for some reason, for some cases, I'm not too sure, but there could be a mixed audience wherein there are Hindi speakers who don't understand English, there are English speakers who don't understand Hindi. In such a case, at times the speakers are or the experts are required to speak in a bilingual way. The way you are saying, they speak a sentence in English, they translate that then and there in Hindi. That could be one of the reasons. But apart from this reason, if they do it, then I think the language purity should be maintained largely. If there are people who do not understand the other language, which is Hindi or local language for that matter, because that might confuse them. They might think there's something that they have missed and they're not a part of this whole discussion. So that should be something very serious to take.
We initially in our school days we were told that never use English or
Uh-huh.
Binglish. Strictly, that was strictly prohibited. If somebody speaks in that manner, they would have been fined.
True, true. No, I
In those
understand.
days,
As kids, when we went to school, there was always this whole ambiance of,
English and
just
Binglish.
yeah, just stick to one language. I mean, we were taught Hindi as well, and we would speak our local language as well. But when we went to school, it was always told to us that stick to one language, and that was English specifically. And then, of course, not to mix it up. But yeah, these days we see there's a lot of amalgamation that's happening. It can be seen as a good thing, but it should not end up confusing people. I mean, that's the whole idea of this little talk that we're trying to take ahead here. All right. Now, moving ahead, there are a few more common interferences that we have seen from Hindi that come in our English. We don't even get to know about them, and they generally happen at structural level. Now, when I say structural level, that means the structures that we follow are from Hindi, and we try to copy them in English, and we try to say something in the same format. I've taken two words very I mean, they really bothered me when I heard people speak those words, and even I don't know if I ever used them in the wrong way. So these were the words. For example, one is only. Now, only has a literal Hindi to English translation, and that at times confuses people. For example, he was here only. Someone asks us, where was Thomas? Oh, he was here only. वो यही था. वो यही ही था. This the stress of the fact that he was just here. That we try to do it with only. He was here only. Now, that's not a correct English sentence. That's rightly said when we do it. He was right here. He was here itself. He was just here. That's what we would say. We would never say he was here only, because our Hindi brain says वो यही ही था. वो यहीं पर ही था. This he, the extra stress factor comes from only in our Indian English. So he was here itself is again an Indianized version of this word. But then, of course, it still makes sense. But when we say he was here only, will not justify this translation. Yeah, Srijit, I'd like to say something.
Sir, I feel that such incorrect uses can also create a separate kind of language stream, and that has only given rise to the Indian English as we call it, hasn't it, sir? I
Um,
feel so.
you're right, absolutely. Because when someone says this, where is Mohan? Oh, he was here only. So I'm sure, Srijita,
Yeah.
you understand. I understand. Shampa, you understand. I understand. And everyone else in this session, we all understand Shafali. But it's the same word to be said in front of a native English speaker. I'm sure this
Exactly.
person would get a little lost.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
True.
For example, if I were to translate that in Hindi, would you believe how would that sentence go? It would be in this way. वो केवल यही था. वो केवल ही, this keval, the only means keval. That's how it is in Hindi. So the sense of saying wo yahi hi tha, he was right here, translates as only for us in Indian English. But if I were to do it back in Hindi, it would go wo keval yahi tha. So the Hindi person is going to, why are you using this word keval? She'd be like, no, but that's how we say it. So that is the same a native English speaker would feel if he were to listen to the sentence. He was here only.
Yes,
You
sir.
got
And
it?
also, what is your good name for what is
Yeah,
your should now?
you're right.
Good
You're
name.
right. Exactly. Now, a name is good, so is our surname, so is everything. But then that's how we say.
That's
So
really so funny.
yeah, it's fun and funny, Shampa, and that's how we say. We give a lot of respect. Aapka Shubh naam kya hai? Because we see that asking someone's name is always
That's true, sir.
it's a Shubh, because people have given you such a name. So that's true. That's true, Sujita. What you're
Even
saying is right.
in Bengali we say তোমার ভালো নাম কি? What is like
Tomar
ভালো
bhalo.
নাম?
Exactly, exactly. Bhalo
You
naam
see,
ki. And bhalo naam when converts to good English, then
good.
it is not
So
actually should naam.
You're right.
I was very confused with somebody. I do not want to name them.
You're right.
They just started like this. All the relatives, I will say, তোমার ভালো নাম কি আছে? And means somebody who does not speak Bengali, that
Right.
person will always add something like ache to it. As
Right.
if, like, if even if I speak, suppose I speak Marwari, I'll have
Right.
to speak, use something, add on to it. So
Yes.
these are all the add-ons in languages.
No, no, that's true. What you both say, that's true, because this is the uniqueness of our local languages, or for that matter, Hindi, and they have to be that way. But their transference completely in foreign languages, that doesn't make sense, right? So, what's your good name? So the other person would be like, good name. What does that mean? So I mean, we really want to transfer the fact that आपका नाम कितना शुभ है, कितना प्यारा नाम है आपका. We would like to know it. That is the intention, but it doesn't get transferred completely in English. All right. Similarly, you see, you only told me to do so. You only told me to do so. We have heard it so much, Srijita. You're right when you say we have a complete different way of expressing ourselves in this Indian English, which is understandable, which is acceptable, which is totally fine. But do we ever think from the international perspective? The word international over here is at a global perspective, which means that what if we were to talk to a native English speaker? How does he or she comprehend? What does he or she feel about these sentences? So, तुमने ही तो कहा था. So, the right translation is going to be, you were the one who told me to do it. It was you who told me. Got it? So there is no only. This only word is found a lot. That's why I thought of using this. There are many such words, but I just want to focus on only. And there's one more that you are going to see shortly. I only will eat this evening. So everyone else from my family is going out for dinner, and I'm the only one who is left. So my cook asked me, who all are there at our house today in the evening, for whom I'm going to cook the food. Oh, I only will eat this evening. मैं ही खाऊंगा आज शाम को, बाकी लोग सब बाहर जा रहे हैं खाना खाने. All right, I'll be the one to eat this evening, or only I will eat this evening. I only know, only I, because only I is just to stress on the fact that only I will eat this evening. If contrast is clear, if you understand that others are not, and only me. She only said that. उसी ने तो कहा था. She was the one who said it. This only is the problem. आपको पता है, यही तो समस्या है. When we stress on that, so this is exactly the problem. This is the real problem. So we use the word exactly or real problem, and we don't say only. He passed only because of luck. So where sirf kismat se pass हुआ है, he passed just because of luck. He passed purely due to luck. So we use these kind of words, which is purely or just. So this is very important that we have to understand. This word only can confuse English speakers. I'm sure we all understand among ourselves, but not at a level wherein it's not a native language Hindi for other people. We met yesterday only. हम कल ही तो मिले थे. We met yesterday only. So the right translation is going to be, we met just yesterday. We met just yesterday. So only is not the right word. We are going to use just in place of only. Or the last one, they reached today morning only. वो आज सुबह ही पहुंचे हैं. They reached today morning only. they reached early this morning or they reached just this morning. This word just has to be used. Do you have any other example?
This only word is going through the youngsters nowadays. To
True.
be honest, I cannot, like, I always tell my daughter, what is this only you're adding to English? I don't understand.
True.
Mama, everyone speaks like this. You do not know it. I said
True.
that this is the new, conversation style. This
Yes.
is yes.
True, true. You're right. You're right. I mean, I don't know how it would unfold furthermore, Shampa, but yes, it's prevalent. It's there. The way Shrijita says that it's going to be there and it's an Indian way of speaking. We are not criticizing it at all. It is just the fact that uh, are you making sense to a foreign person? That is the only point we are trying to deliver here, right? So we have to be mindful of the fact that when I say these kind of sentences, and I'm addressing to an audience who has English as a native language or people who have a bigger understanding of English. How do they see me? How do they understand me? Because among us, we all can understand each other. There's no problem because we have few common languages which have these kind of involvements, and they are easy for us to act as a base to understand what we are trying to say in English. But what about this international, exchange? How does that work? So that's the point. So instead of using only, we have some options. We can say exactly, we can say just, actually, really, in fact, indeed, especially, instead of only when it's not appropriate. And practicing identifying what only is emphasizing and rephrasing it. We have to really see what the sense is. The simple way is that go back to your mother tongue and just say the same sentence in your mother tongue. It can be Hindi or any other local language, and just see this only is indeed keval or sirf. How does it blend? How does it work? Does it make sense? And then just go and check with English speakers. If you have got friends or on the internet or among people who are good in English, just check with them, because this is true that it does leave a lasting impression on people as to what others say to us. And it wasn't clear. I didn't understand what you wanted to say. Why did you use that word only? So these things have to be really done in an academic way, especially to start off with, and then furthermore you can make it your own with practice and with a lot of hard work. Yeah, Shampa, you'd like to say something?
As you rightly said, academically we'll have to improve these things. But I still find many a people not agreeing to it, because they will say everybody speaks like this. So they think that this is the norm. This is the, the way they will get onto it.
Right. No, when
So
they say everybody, I think we forget the fact, Shampa, that there is a huge community of English speakers who are there beyond our country, who are beyond our boundaries. So we have to talk to them as well. And how do we understand? So a simple activity could be done.
even like us, we also like, because
Yes.
we are teaching for so many years, we are into this field, so we feel very embarrassed.
Yes.
We cannot, we cannot sync with them and find it very, it's not, I would rather say, we cannot balance the both things. They
True.
are not agreeing to correct themselves.
I mean, we can just be
They think that this is the way, this is,
true.
ma'am, ऐसे ही बोलते हैं सब. When
Right.
I tell them that you are going to give an interview where you're not supposed to speak like this,
Right.
they just tell me that, मैम we have been taught like this. अब
Right.
अरे सब तो यही बोलते हैं, यही करते हैं.
Yes.
आप भी मैम ऐसे बोलते हो, आप अभी ऐसे कोई नहीं बोलते.
True. 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 No, I
So
understand.
it is very difficult for me.
I can totally understand what you're saying, Shampa. It's our effort as teachers or those who know it. It's just to pass on the message, and it's for the other people to take it or not to take it. It's for them. But of course, we can guide them. As I said somewhere in my discussion, that when we are trying to correct people, we have to be mindful of the fact: do they want to get corrected? One, and how do they take it? Do they take it in a positive stride or not? If not, then of course we can just say it once and not furthermore. But yes, that's true. This is in the ambience, it's in the entourage, it's in the environment. People are not too mindful of it. But definitely, when we have people from different backgrounds, different origins, different cultures, then problem arises, and we don't understand each other very well the way we do among all people from the same background, same community, same culture. There, it's even more doable. Right. We'll quickly move ahead, and I have another word which is again something that bothers us. This is a word "ana" in Hindi. So normally people say, my birthday comes on 15th of June. So anything that doesn't have a motion, a movement, would never go with the word "to come." Now, this is a very pure Hindi translation that goes in English. मेरा birthday 15 जून को आता है. ठीक है, हिंदी में आ सकता है, बट इंग्लिश में आपका बर्थडे कभी नहीं आएगा, बिकॉज वो कोई गाड़ी नहीं है. It's not a car, it's not a bus, it's not a vehicle, it's not something that has movement, right? So we should say my birthday is on 15th June. If we talk about festivals, then we say, for example, let's say someone says Holi comes after Makar Sankranti. So the right way is Holi is celebrated after Makar Sankranti, or Holi falls after Makar Sankranti. So these are the words we have to use instead of saying comes, or any other festival. Diwali comes in the month of October or November. So it doesn't come, it falls. New books are coming in the market, new books are coming in the market. नई किताबें market में आ रही हैं. That's how we say. But वो आ कैसे रही हैं? They don't have legs, they don't have tires, they don't have wheels. So new books are arriving in the market. New books are being launched in the market. So we have to be very careful. A native English person will speak this way, and we are trying to translate it from Hindi towards English, and that's how we would say. Winter comes in December. So winter starts in December, or December marks the beginning of winter. I think this is correct way of saying, rather than using the word ana. Or summer comes in May. गर्मियां मई में आती हैं. Summer begins in May. The train came at 10 o'clock. Now here it is correct because the train had a movement, but normally we would avoid and we would say train arrives, but even come can work well. So because there's a physical movement. Your result will come next week. आपका जो परिणाम है वो अगले हफ्ते आने वाला है, आ रहा है. Which again is incorrect. You would say your result will be declared, because result is declared. Now what happens is that every noun has a verb generally which goes as a pair with this noun. Result declare hota hai, right? या आपको result प्राप्त होता है. Of course, maybe in Hindi you don't say that way, but in English you would say that way. You'll get your result next week. So you would never say your result will come. No, result तुम्हारा अगले हफ्ते आएगा. That's how we translate that from Hindi to English. Or even उसके exams आ रहे हैं. Her exams are coming. So that's again incorrect, because you would rather say her exams are approaching, or there's another way that says coming up. Now, coming up is something that is lined up, which has to come at a certain time in time, one, and something which has a deadline, or something which is scheduled. In that way, we can say her exams are coming up. There it makes sense, but not her exams are coming. Just coming will not make sense. So this word come is really tricky when we translate it from Hindi to English. Now, it also has very basic sentences, and I'm sure no one makes those mistakes. हम at least वो गलतियां तो नहीं करते. जैसे हम कहते हैं मुझे नींद आ रही है, right? So no one says sleep is coming to me. That's so incorrect. We know it. I'm feeling sleepy. I would like to sleep now. You'd say this way. Or मुझे हिंदी आती है. Right? Hindi comes to me. No one says this way. We are very aware of the fact that we are mindful and we don't use those sentences in the wrong way. But when it comes to sentences like my birthday comes on 15th of June, or Diwali comes in the month of October, or your result will come next week, or her exams are coming, उस केस में हम लोग बिल्कुल ध्यान नहीं देते. हम हिंदी से फटाफट ट्रांसलेट करके टू कम जो वर्ब है उसको यूज करते हैं, which again is not correct. So we have to be absolutely mindful of the fact that are these sentences said this way in English? Perhaps, maybe in Indian English, but what about an English which is generic, which is applied to a larger audience? How to go about that in such a correct way? So there we have to be a little careful about it. Then, what are the ways in which we could replace them? So birthday comes, becomes birthday is on. Holi comes, becomes Holi celebrated. Diwali comes, becomes Diwali falls in the month of. Exams are coming, exams are approaching, or exams are coming up. Or new books are coming, or came. Books are released, books are launched. A new set of books is arriving shortly. And season comes, rather season begins, or season starts, or season sets in. Now, generally, the confusion that crops up is for the fact that we would feel as if it is coming. The moment you feel कि आपको इंग्लिश का जो वर्ब है टू कम वो काम में लेना है, तो जस्ट गिव अ थॉट टू योरसेल्फ एंड आस्क, क्या उसका फिजिकल मूवमेंट हो रहा है, क्या क्या वो गाड़ी की तरह आगे आ रही है चीज? इफ नॉट देन यू डोंट हैव टू गो फॉर द वर्ब टू कम, तब आपको उसका स्पेसिफिक वर्ब ढूंढना पड़ेगा. It might sound a little tricky at the beginning. It might be tedious. Your brain will not accept it. But believe me, once you will have learned it, that exams are always declared. It doesn't happen that exams, I'm sorry, the results are always declared. And it's not that the result comes. So you'd always say, your result is going to be declared next week. So you attach the word declared with results. So you know that they go hand in hand. And no other word would ever come in between to interrupt it. Is that okay? Any questions on that? Any insights on that? All right, let's move ahead. Now, the last part of this quick discussion, there are also some double emphasized words in Hindi that we have seen. I don't know how do you see, but then in Hindi we see them a lot. We talk about choti choti baatein, नई नई खबरें, अच्छे अच्छे log. We always emphasize with these doubly emphasized words in Hindi, and this repetition sounds so natural to us in Hindi, which is absolutely unnatural and grammatically incorrect in English. Because I've heard many people say there are small things that you could do. We found different aspects on this topic. There were little things that they were showing us. So these little things, these different aspects, or these small concepts, is exactly the Hindi brain that's asking you to do certain things. So please be very careful and mindful of the fact that you don't use this doubly emphasized word setup in English. So some examples quickly for you would be, all right. So it's going to be, yeah, choti choti baatein. You have to do little things, which becomes in English as you have to do small tasks. You have to do the little things. Alag alag bhumikaएं, alag alag roles हैं. He plays different roles is what we say. He plays various roles or he plays multiple roles. Choti choti समस्याएं. We face small problems. We face minor problems. We face small problems. नई नई चीजें. She buys new things every weekend. She buys new items. She buys a lot of new things. Badi badi karein. They own big cars. They own huge cars, or they own very big cars. Achhi achhi kitabein. He reads good books. He reads great books. He reads really good books. Lambi katarein. There were long queues. There were very long queues. Pyari baatein. She says sweet things. Or she says lovely things. She says sweet things. So that's how you would change them. And the moment someone says a little, different, small, new, big, good, long, or sweet, or such other combinations, that clearly indicates the fact that his Hindi brain is doing the translation. That's very obvious. So how do we get away with these kind of combinations? You would avoid these repetitions in a way that uh, you could do it. First and foremost, why should it be avoided? Because it sounds more childlike or non-native to an English person, and because in English it doesn't exist. You never repeat the adjectives. So how do we avoid this? I'll just give you an example and then I'll listen to Srijita. So you can always remove these different by using other quantifiers. For example, various or multiple. Small could be used with a few small or a minor, and other intensifiers like very big could be used instead of using big, or sweet can be really sweet. And we can always make it plural in terms of new items rather than saying new things, because a native English person would not understand it. So just think from his or her perspective as to how would they do, and how would they do would be your answer. Yeah, Srijita.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to add that some double emphasized words like kabhi kabhi,
Yeah,
sometimes abhi right
yeah,
now, might
yes.
have a specific English meaning rather than the double English of that same word.
Yes, you're right. So that's why uh, the problem is, Srijita, kabhi kabhi is sometimes, and the way you are saying those words, even people who speak English, the Indian English speakers, or people who have their mother tongue in a different way and they have English, so even they don't make mistakes over there. There it's fine. Kabhi kabhi, sometimes, right? But when we talk about little, small, there comes the problem. Because kabhi kabhi, you would never find people say sometimes. No, they would never say it. It's generally with these small words, and they act as a problem there. the change is understood. I don't know for what reason. They have worked hard, or they have understood it. They've understood the sense of it. So they would not say "kabhi kabhi" as I don't know, something else, but they would always end up saying "sometimes," which is absolutely correct. So they have mastered it. They have understood it. But the unfortunate part is that since there is no exact translation of small, small, little, little, um, or let's say different, different, there's no exact translation. So they end up translating these word by word.
True, sir. I also feel
Right?
the same thing. Yes.
Yeah. So we have to be a little mindful with that. And the moment people say it or use it, again, as Shampa said, people are not ready to accept. So we're not going to change the way they think. It's just that we are going to put across this is how it is to be done. It's for them to understand and accept and move ahead. For them. Yeah, Shampa, over to you.
So, to be honest, this is something I believe every language has its own essence. So
Absolutely.
we cannot change that essence. It's very
No.
difficult to change the essence of
True.
it. So we need to sink in it. We need to immerse in it. That is more important for
True.
us.
True.
If you love that language, so try to speak like them. No,
True.
I'm not telling you that you will be correct each and nobody is perfect.
True.
Nobody is perfect. I believe like that.
Right.
So just to it's communication. We need to communicate with them. That is more important thing. In their, of course, in their true way,
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right.
not like making English or English together.
No, that's true. That's true. I mean, everyone aspires to speak as a native person. I mean, that's what our intention is. If you want to speak English, we would really like to near ourselves to what the English people speak, or if we are speaking any other foreign language, let's say French or Spanish or German or Chinese, we would want to speak like natives. That's how we really take it as a compliment. But how hard are we working for it? Are we really doing an introspection of ourselves? Are we really making an effort to see? Am I translating it? Am I saying it from my Indian perspective? Am I saying it from the Hindi perspective? Am I saying it from my local perspective? We hardly pay attention to it. So we have to be careful. Now, the good part in foreign languages is, since Shampa is into foreign languages, Srijit, I don't know about you, perhaps if you are also into some other languages. So there we see that we don't have so many speakers. We end up talking to native speakers, right? So when we speak to native speakers, we don't find those interferences, because no one speaks différent différent, if I were to say it in French, or petit petit. We don't say that because it doesn't exist in French, and largely we communicate with native speakers or people who have learned it in a very academic way, and they're still being very aware of the usage of the language. But with English, we have it for from so many years that it's part of our existence. And the way Srijita said, we have Indianized it. Now, getting out of that Indianized version is again a tedious thing for us. But how do we get out of it? How do we make sense out of what we are saying for people who have just English as a native language and no other language as a support system? So that is important, Shampa. That's true. And we have to keep our uniqueness of our native languages intact, but not to ruin the other languages either. That's also true. Perfect. We'll just quickly move to the last part of the session, wherein I have some quick sentences for you, and I would really want you to help me translate these in English. So one by one, you could do. I thought ki you won't come. How would we say if we were to remove the ski? Any guesses? Yeah, Srijita.
Simply, I would say, sir, I thought that you won't come.
Exactly. I thought that this key is that, and these days I'm sure Sujita, Shampa, you would um, accept what I say, that we don't use that either. In the New English, we say, "I thought you wouldn't come." We hardly use that. We have done away with that. That I hope you're doing fine. We don't say anymore. I hope that you are doing fine, right? So that's again something that has come into place. So people say, "I thought you wouldn't come. I thought that you wouldn't come." So that's there. Then next one, I would request you to tell me. So, matlab, you are angry with me, yeah, Shrita?
So, does that mean you're angry with me?
Oh, exactly. Does that mean you're angry with me? Exactly. So you're angry with me. Perfect. You're coming now.
You're coming, right?
Exactly. You're coming, right? Exactly. Very good. He's your friend, huh? He's your
He's your
friend, huh?
friend, right?
Right. Perfect. Yeah. You say right or isn't it? That's correct.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Isn't he? Isn't it? That's correct. Next one. So, what do you want now?
So, what do you want now?
Yeah, so what do you want now? Perfect. I told you ki I am busy.
I told you that I am busy.
Yeah, I was busy is perfect because, but in Hindi we end up, even these these the reported speech that is a little clumsy in Hindi, so we would translate it word by word. So that's correct. What you wanted to say, Srijita. I told you that I was busy is the right
Yes, sir.
English
Yes.
sentence, but in Hindi we always translate it from the sense we do it in Hindi. So there it creates a little confusion. So I think that can be taken as a topic furthermore anytime, wherein the reported speech, how it is getting reported, that also plays a big role in Hindi and in English. Is it getting transferred in the same way or not? And are we following English rules or not? So that's again a big topic to be taken up. Then it's like SAE. I did it randomly. Any guesses for that? SAE.
Just like that. It's like
Yeah,
just like.
yeah, just like that, just like this. Okay, and then the next one is, Are, why didn't you call me?
Oh, why didn't you call me?
Yeah. Oh, hey, why didn't you call me? I didn't go because I was tired.
I didn't go because I was tired.
Because I was tired. And last is, Acha, you didn't understand.
So you didn't understand.
So or oh, it's like, a sound. Oh, you didn't understand. I thought you had understood everything. Perfect. All right. Oh, so I hope you have understood everything. So that was a little talk on this topic, wherein I wanted you all to understand that how important it is for us to know that there is an influence of our mother tongue. It can be Hindi, it can be our any local language, and how we just move ahead with it without any reflection, because we are surrounded by people who understand us and we understand them, and it's going pretty well. Problem comes when we have to speak like natives, because that is what our intention is. Even if we don't want to speak like natives, that's okay. But are you being understood by a native person? That's the bigger question. Is the exchange happening seamlessly, flawlessly? There is no problem about it. That is a bigger question that we need to respond to. And if the answer is that yes, I have to move ahead that way, then we have to be really mindful of the usage of Hindi words or our local language words in English. That was it from my side. Any questions you have, perhaps? If not, then I wish you a great day ahead. Take care of yourself and keep flourishing and blooming in English and even in your mother tongue.
Thank you so much, sir. Have a nice
Thank
day.
you. You too.
Thank
Thank you.
you so much,
Thank
sir.
you. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye. Take care.